Hi there, viewers and gamers alike out there, and welcome back for more of Arkham Twin Days, every Tuesdays and Thursdays only, right here in Leo's Let's Plays Alliance. So I'm going to go with another topic. So yay! And by the way, this song is going to absolutely work. It will knock your socks off. And this topic of this story is, who is Eradicator, Superman of the comic origins and powers explained? A mystery that holds in the deepest and darkest secrets that will lead here in Leo's Let's Play as Alliance. And this game is rated T for teen because of the blood, language, and violence. So viewer discretion is advised. This game is not KID friendly because it never was. And you're saying you're playing a Spider-Man game that everyone likes for KIDSs, of course. But this game is a friendly constant because this game is absolutely dark, and you can't see people getting killed off because everything in this game is Arkham. Understand, because this is like Batman Arkham City and Batman Arkham Knight. This is not a kid's game. Never was, never had, never will. I'm serious. I'm telling the truth. Viewer discretion is advised. You have been told. So, let's get on to this also, and this is Alliance Teen. Who is Eradicator Superman, the conduit of all Kryptonian wisdom and culture? And what makes the imposter Man of Steel such a complex character is what you're asking. What? Why? I need to know now. Well, I'm gonna give you the lowdown. Superman is possibly the most highly regarded hero in the history of comics, both in the world of the DC universe and in real life. At different times in the comics, he can identify as a Kansas farm boy or a godlike visitor from another planet. But there is one thing that has plagued him for decades: the living incarnation of Kryptonian culture known as the Eradicator. Yes, and I did mention about the Eradicator several times, and most of you guys know this, that it will be playing a big role with my main avatar character along with Cyborg Superman, including the Eradicator, because someone, I explained to Austin Lawrence, is that a little prophecy been foretold from an SAO character. But that is like, will happen in the near future. But for the time, the origins of the Eradicator. Although there have been several DC Comics characters, DC Comics characters with the name Eradicator. The most prominent one is the version that first appears in the seminal storyline, The Death and Return of Superman. If not only it's a comic book, but it's also the name of a movie, which is also well called The Death of Superman, if you want to know the Death and Return of Superman, which is PG-13. Which is one of some of the most violent comic books in comic book history that's ever been displayed in the DC Comics, and also not to mention the movie itself. The Death and Return, which is more commonly known as the Reign of the Superman, if you want to remember, the Reign of the Supermen. So that is how it portrays it. Hundreds of thousands of years ago, the Eradicator was a machine that bore a striking resemblance to Superman's birthing matrix. It was originally created by an unnamed alien race to contain and protect their culture. But when one wound up on Krypton, it was captured and altered to protect and spread Kryptonian culture instead. It ultimately fell into the hands of an alien evangelist known only as the Cleric. He kept the Eradicator safe for 200,000 years until he encountered Superman. who was being held by Mongol on Warworld. Yeah, if you know the name Warworld, what about Battle World? Not very peaceful there. See how DC and Marvel relate? As soon as the cleric gave Superman the Eradicator, he rapidly aged and died because of the connection that he and the Eradicator shared was severed. Ouch. So yeah, that talk about a really long friendship or something that, or should I say, the ties that bind. So Superman returns to Earth with the Eradicator, but it attempts to morph Clark into a true Kryptonian in the storyline, the Kryptonian Man. The Man of Steel eventually overcomes the machine's influence and hurtles the Eradicator into the sun. While inside the sun, the Eradicator is able to construct a being of pure energy that returns to Superman's Fortress of Solitude when Superman died at the hands of Doomsday, kicking off the reign of the Superman. And I'll tell you, that is the same Doomsday who nearly killed me. I was mostly dead, but slightly alive. Mostly dead, but slightly alive. If I was all dead, okay, if I was mostly dead, I'm slightly alive. If you understand that. Mostly dead, I'm slightly alive. All dead, there's one thing you can do. Go through my clothes and look for loose change. I'm serious. When Superman died, the Eradicator returned to Earth in an attempt to claim Superman's role. He was one of 4 to do so. The others are Superboy, Steel, and Cyborg Superman. While the computer appeared on Earth, it took on the mantle, if you want to know, I'm guessing the Cyborg Superman, if you want to know. Now, the last son of Krypton, the last son of Krypton. I don't know if the Eradicator or Cyborg Superman, I'm not sure. Even believing that it really is, or it was, Superman. It took the place of Superman and fought crime in Metropolis, but was far more ruthless than Superman ever was. So, yeah, the Eradicator, it's not the Cyborg, it's the Eradicator. So, the Eradicator Superman is cold, blunt, and emotionless. As it says to Lois Lane in Action Comics number 687 by Roger Stern, Jackie Gwintz, and Dennis Rodier. And this is what the Eradicator said. Things have changed. I have changed. Kent is gone. That's right. Because remember what happened. The Eradicator is phenomenally powerful, regardless of which version you are talking about. In its original form, the Eradicator kept the Cleric alive for millennia, built the Fortress of Solitude, transported Superman and others supposedly over thousands of miles, and even synthesized kryptonite. That's right, kryptonite. You can name any kind of kryptonite. It could be red, it can be blue, green. Yes, green kryptonite, which I don't know why for this, because that's his weakness besides magic and red and the red sun, red energy of the red sun, if you want to remember. And like, how is that possible? There is black kryptonite, gold kryptonite, and there's even purple kryptonite. Yes, purple kryptonite, if you want to know. And that is when the Eradicator uses that purple kryptonite to transfer all the powers to the original, the real original Superman, and all of his powers are fully, like, quickly, instantly restored, which supposedly I'm going to... That's a little bit of a spoiler from what will happen, what you see in this channel here. In the near future. Sorry, I swallowed air down to the wrong throat or the wrong windpipe. Once it changed into a superhuman-like form, it gained powers similar to the hero's flight, invulnerability, super strength, etc., and you name it. In addition, the Eradicator can absorb and redirect energy shot at him. That's how it happened from what he just did. He may be gone, if you want to remember, he ceased to exist, but his powers were transferred to the original, if you want to remember, which is going to be a spoiler alert in the near future. This incredible source is absolutely amazing to know about the origins. Also, if you want to know, after the events of Rebirth, the Eradicator can now absorb the essence of an item. Specifically that those are Kryptonian in nature. In other words, yes, it can absorb like an item. It's not like like a Mazo or something else of or like the Kree, if you want to remember, about copy its powers of the original Fantastic Four and use them as their own. I mean, not all the Kree is bad, if you want to remember. So, because between DC and Marvel, it's basically the same thing. Not to mention in Japanese anime, if you want to remember, that is how you remember it so well. Because it absolutely works. Because everything in this is Arkham. In the new continuity, the Eradicator was originally created by Superman's nemesis, and get this, drum roll please! It is none other than General Zod, as one of several machines designed to arrest and contain the life energy of Kryptonian criminals. This Eradicator was off-planet when Krypton exploded and saw Superman's rocket escape Krypton moments before the explosion. It spent the next several decades searching for the last Kryptonian, with its new mission being to preserve Kryptonian culture by any means necessary. It was destroyed during a fight with Superman as it was attempting to assimilate Superman's son, John. Ooh, not where you want to go there now, do you? In the next appearance in Justice League comic book numbers 40 to 43 in 2018, the Eradicator arrived on Daxam, a planet where the population descended from Kryptonian colonists, but without the weakness to kryptonite, which it works on continuity. Can you imagine that? I mean, if you find some like Japanese anime manga, because there's some of the how do I say, heroes and superheroes and supervillains, heroes and villains and anti-heroes, weaknesses and strengths on continuity, which absolutely works. And yeah, that can work with the comics of DC and Marvel. Can you imagine that? Yes, and for those who are Japanese anime fans or watching TV series and or manga or movies, you can bet on that too. In his bid to remake Earth in Krypton's image, the Eradicator enhances several Daxamites to invade Earth. Ultimately, with the assistance of Madame Xanadu, her name is spelled capital Xanadu, they transport the Eradicator and the Daxamites, if you want to know, to a remote planet without a yellow sun, stripping them of their powers, and the Eradicator destroyed again. The Eradicator's current whereabouts are unknown, but the fans can probably rest assured that he will be back to save and protect Krypton. Or should I say, Krypton's legacy in the most destructive way possible. And now I'm going, and this how, yes, he was cold and heartless and ruthless as not is what you think he is. I mean, think of this like the Jason Todd type of character, sort of. But only he's a Superman with superhuman strength and, you know, flight speed, agility, and vulnerability, etc. And you get the idea. However, somehow the writers notice, or the editor had to change the story on the Eradicator's change of heart just a little bit. So for that matter, the Eradicator had to recharge his powers back in the Fortress of Solitude and trying to go and face off against Cyborg Superman one last time before he was going to go for a double whammy. Of course, the real Superman, who was in the black suit, if you want to remember, wanted to stop the Cyborg with the helping out of Superboy and Steel by the name of John Henry Irons. And because of that, if you remember how the story goes, if you watch Injustice, Gods Among Us, about the side or the story of the death of Superman that I explained to you, it's on this channel in Leo's Let's Plays Alliance, of course. It wasn't called Leo's Let's Plays. I was still called Leo Wolverine, and I'm still called the one and only Leo Wolverine, if you want to remember. So there you have it. And for that bit of, yes, somehow he kind of feels that he feels kind of feeling bad that the original Superman came back, but his powers are not fully restored, not fully just yet. But he will draw enough attention of Cyborg Superman when he launched that super missile back on, wow, oh my gosh, it's like a giant mech city that he created. And then to destroy Metropolis, which is, you know, Coast City was destroyed by something that large of a giant mechanized ship. And with the help of the Cyborg Superman. You want me to say the Eradicator? No. It was the Cyborg Superman. But that is like, it'll be played way after a later role from what I said about a little prophecy foretold in this Ultimate Arkhamverse, that what you're about to see will become, or should it come to fruition, and things will come into play. And that's when, of course, Quinella from Sword Art Online Initialization is going to say that that she has seen this prophecy fulfilled, that the Eradicator will play a role along with my own avatar character and also Cyborg Superman in the near future. But that's going to be after of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, if you want to remember and or recall of this predicament. And so, what do you guys think of the Eradicator's origins of Superman's powers? I mean, do you like it or hate it? Do you guys understand a little bit more about the Eradicator's powers and his origins, even though that some of it is continuity, which it admits that how the editor made the last change of heart to give the Eradicator one last hurrah to transfer all his powers into that special someone. So, once again, do you like it or hate it? Mash that like button and or share this video. If you guys like Arkham Twin Days, such as myself, which only airs every Tuesdays and Thursday evenings only here on Leo's Let's Plays Alliance, and also a special Arkham Twin Days special on the weekends. Sometimes on the weekends, if you want to know, we'll do like the Japanese anime version of Arkham Twin Days, which will work. So yeah! Also, I'm going to always say this. As your friendly neighborhood superhero who takes chances making mistakes and getting messy and still being called your friendly neighborhood Spider Cop. Right here in Leo's Let's Plays Alliance. Godspeed, play safe, and shalom. Remember to fight with honor, love, truth, and justice. And see you guys next time for more of multi-universal lore of Marvel Spider-Man right here. And also, stay tuned for more of the excitement of the juicy multi-lore and more of Arkham Twin Days. Still great to be back for the time being.